Stacey. I'm an estate planning attorney. My law practice is located in Stafford, Virginia, and I prepare living trust, wills, durable powers of attorney, advanced medical directives, medical powers of attorney. I do probate and trust administration, elder law, and things of that nature. I left a larger practice I was with on April 1st, 2026, and started my own practice. And so right away, I created my website, my business Facebook page, created an Instagram account and LinkedIn, and did all the things that, I'm supposed to do when you start a business. But I wasn't really generating any leads or traction from that because I really wasn't doing much advertising on that. So I also created a Yelp page, which I got a couple of clients off of Yelp. That's kind of what I was doing. So the last law firm I was with, they gave a lot of workshops and seminars, and they made me the main presenter. And so I knew that that was one of my strengths, getting up and speaking before people. We always had a really great response with this other law firm I was with, a large sign-up rate when I gave the presentation. So when I saw the Keywave advertisement come across my Facebook page, I was thinking, yeah, this is something that is going to work for me. I really had no idea that companies like that existed that would do all the advertising for you and keep track of all of that, the responses and the RSVPs, and then all I would have to do really is get up and speak, and so I thought this is exactly what I'm looking for. So I was really, really, really excited to try it. The event went really well. I'm very, very pleased with the functionality of the whole application. I chose an event that would seat 80 people, and so the advertisement, the campaign started about 2 weeks before the event was to occur, and right away we just started getting all these RSVPs, and we're able to track the RSVPs right on Eventful. And so I had never used Eventful before, so I'm trying to get familiar with the software, but it was really, really nice. You're able to keep track of all these RSVPs very well with Eventful. And so as the campaign went on, about a few days later, a week into it, maybe a week and a half into it, I went ahead and shut down the campaign because I was afraid that we were going to go over that 80 seating limit. In the end, we had about 70 RSVPs. When we made our second touch or call to them to confirm, we ended up with about 55, 60 confirming, on that second confirmation. And so very, very, very excited. When the event came, we had probably about 35, 40 people actually show up. And these people were exactly, my typical client, pre-retirees, retirees. So, I was very, very excited. And then after the event was over, of course, these people were very, very interested. And they stayed around and they asked a lot of questions. So I noticed that, and nobody really left until everybody was done asking questions, and everybody stayed to listen to everybody's questions and answers. 7 signed up at the door for a meeting. And when I say 7, some of those are couples. Okay. So if you double that, it could be, 13 to 14. I think my reception said it was 13 people on those 7 that signed up at the door for a meeting, because what I gave them at the meeting was a sign-up sheet. So if it was a couple, they got one would sign up for both of them, and if it was an individual, they would have one, and they were to turn in those sign-up sheets at the door, if they wanted to have a meeting with me. So some of them signed up for the meeting. We got them right on the calendar. That was about 13 people signed up for a meeting right away, and then the remaining 7, we finished making those calls today, and they all signed up for a meeting because they had filled out the form that they would like to have a consultation. So all in all, we had 14 sign-up forms returned at the event. Many of those are couples. So if you double a lot of those, you're looking at 30 to 35 clients total. So very, very happy with the whole event. The process, the software went very, very smooth for the first time that I've done this. So extremely, extremely happy, and I'm looking forward to the next event. Well, prior to my Keywave event, my first event, I didn't have anything on the calendar. Okay. So you look at my calendar, there's nothing there, just a few meetings, 2 or 3. Now you look at the calendar and, I have all these meetings for the next couple of months. I'm feeling really, really good. And I'm feeling good about this way of advertising. This just works for me. It works for me. And I'm excited for the next one. To be honest, I'm worried I'm gonna get too many clients at this point. Okay. It's something that solo practitioners worry about. You either don't have enough or you have way too many, right? But yeah, I had none and now I have a ton. So I mean, that's the way it happened with this. So I am very excited, and I'm going to continue to use Keywave. I'm going to continue to do these things at least 3 times a year, maybe 4 times a year. We'll see how things go, but and probably use some of the same venues over and over again. The ones that I really worked out before. We'll see. We about using the same venue. Maybe once a year we'll go back to a venue we used the prior year. But nope. Again, this is I had a great campaign, a great event the first time, and I got 2 more to go. So I know more about the software. So it's not going to be as hard the second time around on the software. But I thought it went very smooth given the fact that I had never worked with the software before. So I'm very excited. I have a lot of hope, optimism right now. I would tell them they should definitely try it. What have they really got to lose? Here's an advertiser, a company that knows what they're doing. They go out and find your typical client. They fill up a room with your typical client. I wouldn't have a clue on how to do that, and neither would you. So to me, it's like, what do you have to lose? And then all you have to do is just get up there and do your thing. You've talked to your clients before. You've gotten up, probably talked to a crowd before, so you know what to do. You know what to say. Once you get your typical client in front of you, you know what to say to them. So I think you should definitely at least try it and see how it goes for you. Because to have a company that will fill up a room with your typical profile client, that's just was astounding to me. I was just so surprised. My husband is an economist, and he has a saying, do what you do best and you trade for the rest. So we don't know nothing about advertising and filling up a room with our typical client, but this company does. And so let them do that work and we'll do our work. Just show up and do your work. And so I think it's great. I really do think it's great. I think they did a great job. They really did. I'm very, very pleased, and I think that you will too. And I think you should definitely give it try at least once and see how it goes. I can't really think of anything right now about it. After just going through my first event, I know I've learned a lot more about Eventful. Okay, when I first started, I wasn't familiar with the software, but now I do. Now I know. So I think that if you're first time user of Eventful, just be patient with yourself and study up the software a little bit before the event starts, of course, and ask your questions. And then my first event, actually, all in all, it went very, very smoothly, even though I'd never used the software before. It's kind of easy to pick up. But I know I'm being asked if there was anything else that I can say about the experience. I feel like, for 2 weeks, even though I'm very, very, I have a lot going on, setting up this office, a lot of administration stuff and old cases I'm still working on. I still feel like it didn't really take that much time out of my day. It really didn't. So, I can't really think of anything else that other people should know except for just you should try it. And I think that it's going to be successful for you. So just reiterating what I had said before.